Declining balance depreciation, exercise 3E. So the learning intention for this lesson, is to calculate the depreciation or purchase price or rate of depreciation of an asset during the decline using the declining balance method. Okay, so before I start, I'll just let you know that this formula is on your formula sheet. Okay, it's not something you have to memorize, you just have to know how to use it and obviously become familiar with whereabouts it is on the formula sheet so that you use the right one, okay, because there are two of them. Now, previously you've learnt about straight line depreciation, so that's when the value of an item decreases by a fixed amount each time period, okay? Declining balance depreciation occurs when the value of the item decreases by a fixed percentage each time period. Okay, so it kind of works in the reverse, similar to like the reverse of compound interest, okay? Now, the formula is this one down here. So S equals VO 1 minus R to the power of N. So S is your salvage value. So that's the current value of the item, okay? VO is what you purchased it at, okay? So the O indicates at the time period being 0. So at the start, so if you purchased a car, it would be what you bought it for, and salvage value would be its current value in the market. R is the rate of depreciation. So again, that's usually a percentage that you change to a decimal. And N is the number of time periods. Okay, so a few examples today. And once we go through those, it makes it a lot clearer what's going on. Okay, so the first one says Eva purchased a new car 2 years ago for $32,000. During the first year, it had depreciated by 25%, and during the second year, it depreciated by 20% of its value after the first year. What is the current value of the car? Now, this one is dropping in value at different percentages each of the time periods, so we actually have to calculate twice. There's no way to do that once in the formula. Okay, so for the first year, start with your formula, S equals VO 1 minus R to the power of N. Now, S is what we're finding. We're finding the value. She purchased it for $32,000. 1 minus the interest rate is 0.25, and it's 1 year. Okay, so after a year, it'll be worth, just chuck all that in a calculator, $24,000. Now, year 2, so doing it again. So you're finding S. The value after the first year is $24,000. 1 minus 0.20 this time because it's 20% to 1. Put that into your calculator and you'll get 19,200. So therefore, the current value is $19,200. Okay, so make sure that you are making your final answer quite clear when there's a bit of messing around with the working out. All right, next example. Angus buys a car that depreciates at the rate of 26% per annum. After 5 years, the car has a salvage value of $17,420. How much did Angus pay for the car to the nearest dollar? So we're working a little bit in reverse here. Starting with the formula, S equals VO 1 minus R, power of N. Always start with your formula and substitute in the values, and then it's very clear what you're finding. Okay, so now we know what the salvage value is, 17,420. VO we're finding, 1 minus the rate is 0.26, and the number of terms is 5. Now to find VO, don't solve anything here, leave it as is, but you're going to divide both sides by 1 minus 0.26 to the power of 5. There's no point solving it. You're best to put everything in the calculator in one go to avoid multiple rounding. Okay, so then VO equals 17,420 divided by 1 minus 0.26 to the power of 5. So put that into your calculator as is, okay, and you will get $78,504. So that's what he paid. That's what it's worth now. So you might think that that can't be right. It actually can. 26% depreciation it's a large a rate. Okay, so it's a very high rate. So with some of these questions, you might think they're wrong. They're actually not, especially if that percentage is quite high. Okay. So that's that one. Last one. This one's a bit of work. So Madison bought a delivery van 4 years ago for $27,500. Using the declining balance method of depreciation, she estimates its present value to be $8,107. What annual percentage rate of depreciation did she use? Answer to the nearest whole number. So we need to find the rate. So this is a little bit messy. Start again with your formula. Oops. What have I done there? Like that. Sub in the values we know so that we know it's now worth $8,107. It was worth $27,500. 1 minus r, we're finding an n is to the power of 4. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to get rid of the 27,500. Now I'm not trying to avoid the calculator as much as possible until the end. So that cancels that. So 1 minus r, 1 minus r to the power of 4 equals 8,107,500. Now to get rid of this 4 here, we're going to root it. So root with a 4. So the calculator has an option for you to put that number in. So then you get 1 minus r equals 4. Oh, I keep doing that. It's a 1. 8107. Okay, so now we need to minus 1 from both sides. So I get minus r equals 8107 over 27500 minus r. So that is rooted. The minus r is separate, so you can put it into brackets so that you don't get confused. Now what you want to do is, because that's minus r, you want to divide this by minus 1 and divide all of that by minus 1. Okay, and you'll get putting all that into the put all this in the calculator in one go like that. Okay, and you'll get r equals 0.26314 blah 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 blah. Times it by 100 to make it an interest rate. Sorry, to make it a percentage, and you'll get 26.314%, which is approximately, they said, nearest whole number. So 26% is that interest rate. Okay, so just have a very careful look at that. Maybe give that one a go on your own and compare. I write each step out so that you wouldn't get confused. You probably could eliminate some of those steps along the way. Okay, and that's it for this exercise. So make sure you're having a look at the HSC questions as well as the exercise and extension questions, and writing out the formula and subbing everything in so you can see clear what you're looking for.